At 70, I looked around and realized my phone had stopped ringing. The coffee invites slowed, the holidays grew quieter, and my circle shrank. At first, I thought something was wrong with me. Had I become forgettable? Had I pushed people away? But the truth was quieter and more powerful. Aging, as I learned, is not just about aching knees or silver hair. It's about shedding what no longer fits, including people. And yet, in the quiet that followed, I saw them. 4 souls, 4 friends, still standing beside me, never asking for anything but always giving peace. This is not a story about loneliness. It's a story about clarity and the beauty of what remains when the noise fades. Let me take you there. Friendship in our younger years is loud, full of group dinners, bustling holidays, weddings, and new babies. The more people, the better. We collect friendships like souvenirs, piling them high to feel full, loved, alive. But after 70, the world slows, time becomes precious, and those large circles we built, they begin to dissolve. It hurts at first. The quiet, the missed birthdays, the silence where once there was laughter. We wonder where everyone went. We think, did I do something wrong? But age brings gifts. One of them is vision, the kind that sees clearly, maybe for the first time. It shows you the difference between those who visit your life and those who live inside it. Over the past few years, I've let go of many people, not with bitterness, but with peace. And yet there are 4 people I could never let go, or maybe they never let go of me. This is a story about those 4 people, and maybe as I share, you'll see faces in your mind, your own sacred 4, the ones who held you through the seasons, even as others drifted like leaves on the wind. When I turned 70, it wasn't with balloons or cake, it was with silence. I sat alone on my porch that morning, a cup of lukewarm tea in hand, watching the clouds drift lazily across the sky. A few birthday messages blinked on my phone, mostly from family, some from acquaintances I barely saw anymore. But the phone didn't ring. There was no doorbell chime, no knock, and in that quiet, something inside me shifted. Retirement had already arrived, not as a long-awaited gift, but more like a silent guest that quietly unpacked itself into my life. My hands ached too much to garden, my back too stiff to clean for hours like I used to. My children had grown, married, moved far away, one in Boston, the other in San Diego. I saw them through grainy video calls. I was proud of them, of course, but their worlds didn't include daily check-ins. I had to remind myself they weren't being unkind. They were just busy, and my partner, gone, 5 years ago. It was a soft goodbye, the kind that shatters you slowly. The chair next to me at dinner still looked full, because my memory placed him there. I sometimes played his favorite jazz record, just to hear him again, even in notes and silence. So I tried to stay busy. I joined the church's knitting circle. I volunteered at the library. I even tried senior yoga, once. I smiled a lot, made new acquaintances, but I also started to notice the same thing over and over again. The people I used to call friends were disappearing. At first it came in excuses. Oh, we'll reschedule lunch. I'm so busy these days. I'll call you next week. Then came the silence. I stopped being invited. I stopped being updated. Birthdays passed without a single word. Texts remained unanswered. Some friends moved. Some got sick. Others just drifted. There were no arguments, no hard feelings, just the steady retreat of people I once loved. I'd sit at my kitchen table and ask myself, was it me? Did I change too much? The truth? Yes, I had changed. Life had changed, and so had they. I wrote 2 lists in a journal one night. Who fills my cup? Who empties it? That exercise changed me. I realized I'd been clinging to people I no longer recognized, to shared memories that weren't enough to hold a friendship together anymore. So I let go, gently, quietly, with love, but with finality. And what happened next surprised me. I began to see who remained. I saw the ones who didn't need reminders to check on me, the ones who showed up without being asked, the ones who noticed me, even when the world didn't. Exactly 4 people. And today I want to tell you who they are, and why they stayed. 1. Mary, the friend who knew my youth. Mary and I met when we were 16. We shared a locker, whispered about crushes, failed algebra tests together. We once tried to dye our hair red before prom. It turned orange, and we laughed until our stomachs hurt. She saw me before I became a wife, a mother, a widow. She knew me before life put wrinkles on my face and lessons in my heart. Even as life pulled us to different cities, we never lost touch. Every Christmas, a card. Every birthday, a phone call. Every heartache, a message. When my husband passed, I didn't want to talk. I couldn't find the words. But Mary called anyway. She didn't say much, just, "Are you okay today?" She drove 3 hours to sit on my porch in silence, brought pie, didn't try to cheer me up, just sat beside me. Mary holds my history. She reminds me who I was, and who I still am. 2. Thomas, the friend who showed up. Thomas was just the man across the street, quiet, reserved, always out tending his garden. We said hello, nothing more, until one icy morning, when I slipped walking to my mailbox. The fall knocked the wind out of me, and in seconds Thomas was there. He didn't ask if I needed help, he just helped. Since then, he's quietly watched over me. He shovels my walkway before the sun rises, checks on me if he sees my lights haven't turned on, replaces my batteries, brings my trash bins in. We've never had a deep conversation, but his friendship doesn't need words. It's in his actions. Thomas reminded me that friendship isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a silent presence that says, "I see you, you matter." 3. Aisha, the friend I found late in life. She moved in 2 doors down, wore bright scarves and smelled like cardamom. We met on a walk. She complimented my scarf. I smiled and told her she had a wonderful laugh. That led to tea. Tea led to stories. Stories led to connection. She was widowed too, had lived in 3 different countries, raised 5 children. She taught me words in her language. I taught her how to make peach cobbler. We laughed at how different we were, and then realized how much we had in common. Grief, courage, loneliness, hope. She became my Saturday routine, not because we planned it, but because it felt right. Aisha reminded me that new friendships aren't just for the young. They bloom late, like autumn flowers, quiet, stunning. 4. Me, the friend I needed all along. I avoided myself for years. If the house was quiet, I turned on the TV. If I was sad, I went shopping. I couldn't sit still with my own company. It felt too raw, too uncertain. But as others left, and silence filled my days, I had no choice but to meet myself. And slowly I began to see someone I liked. I took walks and watched the sky. I ate alone, and didn't feel awkward. I read poetry again. I cried when I needed to, and didn't apologize for it. I stopped criticizing myself, stopped chasing youth, started appreciating the woman I had become. I became my own friend, and found peace there. Letting go isn't easy. There were nights I cried for friends who never said goodbye, for birthdays I spent alone, for the realization that some people I loved didn't love me the same way anymore. But something beautiful came in their absence. Clarity. I realized that life after 70 is not about filling the room. It's about filling the soul. The friends who stayed, they didn't stay because I entertained them. They stayed because we mattered to each other, because our connection was real. I stopped needing 10 people to text. I started cherishing the 4 who still knock. If you're feeling abandoned, invisible, forgotten, please know you are not alone. Look around, look inside. There's always someone, maybe even you, who stayed. Age is a strange gift. It takes some things, mobility, speed, even people, but it gives us truth and peace. And part of that truth is this: not everyone will stay, but those who do, they are sacred. They are worth celebrating, worth thanking, worth writing stories about. I don't mourn the ones who left anymore. I release them. Instead, I hold tight to the 4 who stayed, even when I stopped being fun, social, or useful. They remind me that I am still worthy, still loved, still enough. Maybe they'll remind you too. If you're still watching, thank you. truly. I want to ask you something simple. Who are you for? Drop a comment and let me know, or send them this video as a quiet thank you. And if this touched your heart, please consider subscribing. This channel is a space for elder wisdom, gentle stories, and emotional healing in the later seasons of life. Because life after 70 isn't the end of connection, it's the beginning of deep connection. So from one heart to another, I'm glad you're here. Let's keep walking this path together.